Right before I was about to sit down, I heard the sentence, "You can't heal if you never rest." And it reminded me of the brainwave states, of course. You can't heal if you never rest. One of the hallmarkers of insulin resistance is not being able to get into this deltoid sleep state. Like the body, when you go to sleep, it just thinks that you're awake. That's why when you go to sleep and you might say, "Oh, I've been sleeping for 7 to 8 hours and I wake up and I still feel exhausted," it's because the body went to sleep and it didn't go to rest. It didn't get into this delta wave sleep state. It's not calm. It's probably stuck up here in these beta wave frequencies, this high stress, high inflammation, high cortisol, low testosterone state, you know? And I was thinking it's interesting that, so many people are on hormone replacement therapies. And it's like, what are the hormones, Like, what creates our entire bodies? Those amino and fatty acids. Like, I'm about to, like, this board right here. It says 911 Nutrition on it. These are the amino and fatty acids, and I know you can't see it that well. I'm just pointing to it for reference. But we have all these essential amino acids that we must get in the body in order to be healthy, in order to rest and repair. And when I was on a SSRI medication, a serotonin reuptake inhibitor, a lot of people take these, a lot of people, for anxiety and depression. It's supposed to keep the serotonin levels available, basically. And I was like, why am I running out of serotonin so fast, Like, what's going on that I feel so depleted and exhausted? And, I used to take these 4-hour depression naps in the middle of the day because I was exhausted. I was like, well, one day I Googled, where does serotonin come from, the biochemistry. And it was like, well, it comes from the amino acid tryptophan. Well, where does tryptophan come from? What is this, magic? Is this magic? Oh, this is what our food is. And the animal-based proteins have a complete, full profile of the amino acids. That's why I'm always biased to them and talking about them. But, like, you can't expect the body to heal if you never rest, if you never give it the tools for healing. It's, not going to say, like, we're not entirely dependent, like, we're physical and spiritual creatures, so I feel like we do need the proper nutrition is, of course, necessary, but your spiritual metabolism, how you think about yourself, if you're able to slow down and rest within you, get into these theta and delta wave states meditation within you, then the body has a better chance at healing itself, and lining up with Earth's heartbeat, which is known as the Schumann resonance. When you go stand on the Earth, there's a frequency and a vibration that's coming up from it, like a frequency and when you touch your forehead, that frequency and vibration that you feel is called heat, infrared light. We can't see it. You can trust that it's there because you are in fact alive, and you can touch it and feel that heat if you don't have faith in your body that you are a vibrational being. You just touch and feel your temperature. That's it. So that's all of our food is. Our food is meant to help us hold a charge within the cell, like sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium. Like, these are important minerals that help us hold a charge of the cell. When you go look at a periodic table, like, it'll tell you all the things about these little elements and how necessary they are. When you're eating the animal-based proteins, you're getting plenty of that, plus micronutrients like selenium. Selenium is so important in glutathione production, one of the master antioxidants of the cell. So that's what I was thinking about as I was making my tea. How can your body heal if it never rests, if you never get into the restorative states? And I told y'all I was reading about Edgar Cayce. I'm reading this book. My neighbor lent it to me, The Story of Edgar Cayce, There is a River, a biography. And I just keep asking people, I'm like, for those who don't know, Edgar Cayce was alive in the late 1800s, early 1900s. He went into a trance state, meditation, slowed his respiratory rate down, slowed his heartbeat down. He would basically go to sleep, and he would medically diagnose people and help them cure their disease. And crazy, incredible. I don't know why nobody brought this up when I was in school, but it's fascinating. Now I'm learning about it. And that's why I bring it up, because he would go into a healing state, and magical things would happen. And I just keep asking everybody, I'm like, do you know about Edgar Cayce? Like, I asked my mom, my dad. My mom said no. My dad was like, yeah, I heard of him. But, like, why is nobody talking about this man? Why is nobody talking about how he went to sleep? He went into a trance state and would help heal all these people. Nobody's talking about it. But you're beautiful. You're a biochemist. We're all biochemists. And I think Edgar Cayce was a good example of showing us how limited our senses are. And then, also remembering that, like, there is a higher consciousness that flows and connects us all. Like, it's amazing that there's 30 trillions of cells that come together to create one body. And what keeps all of these cells together in line? Like, we have constant genesis of cells, the beginning, the creation of new cells, the death of old cells. Like, when we look at our bodies, we only see, we're so judgmental towards us. You go and look at that waist region. You're like, man, I'm so fluffy down there, and I wish my arms didn't look like that. And look at my legs. Like, it's so judgmental of all trillions of these little cells, and they just want you to love up on them. They just want you to love, like, thank you. When you look in the mirror, maybe you could say this instead: thank y'all for keeping me alive. Thank you for helping me maintain my muscle mass. Thank you for my immune function that's constantly surveilling cancer cells, viruses, bad bacteria, all these other things in the environment of the cell, fighting wars on the daily at the cellular level. It is every man for himself. And then, of course, they're all working together to serve the greater whole, which is you. And all the mitochondria is a light source from the cell, the powerhouse of the cell. So I like that. And so far as I'm reading this book, I'm only 100 pages in, but he's talking about he had a lot of faith that things would work out. And it's important to have faith in your body. If you don't have faith in your body, you're always thinking about negative things. Negative things are going to happen. They say we think about things and then we manifest them. They happen in real life. You're always worried, and then you meet worrisome things out in the world. Maybe if you're always happy, like, sometimes worrisome things come, but you just know that they're going to be all right. It reminds me of Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Great book. But he was in a concentration camp and talked about finding meaning in a place like that. It's like, oh my gosh, I need to go read that book again, honestly. But it's very humbling to hear a story like that, and it's like several times he almost died in the book, but somehow he knew, like, there will be something after this. Like, this is not the full story. It's not the full picture. So I like that. Anyway, that's really all I have for this video. I can't think of anything else. But I do hope that you get deep rest. I hope that you practice a meditation before you go to sleep to help teach your body what it's like to rest when you're stuck in that fight or flight response. So our bodies need to be shown what it's like to intentionally slow down and be gentle and to heal. And we don't have, like, when we do our meditations, we can go through those different brainwave states. We don't only have to go to sleep. But sleep is also helpful, getting some rest. So turn the blue light off at night. Wake up and see the sun in the morning. Move, like a little walk, and, like, it's going to be okay. One day at a time. So, last quote that I'll leave you with: you are free to choose, but you are not free from the consequences of your choices. A universal paradox. You're free to choose, but you're not free from the consequences of your choice. It's like every action has an equal and opposite reaction, like the laws of physics. You wake up in the morning and you can decide to improve your biochemistry or be a victim to it and just staying in the same patterns each day. Or you can try something different, going for a walk instead, having enough water and hydration before you have your coffee, going out in the sun, cleaning your dishes before, what is the one thing that your brain is like dragging you to go do that you always love to do in the morning? So you have this one habit that's like, you can put something before it, like just break the repetition somehow. Break the repetition, that's what I think about. So anyway, good luck to you. As always, you can like, share, and subscribe. I shall catch you later.